I've been through this a lot.
Yes, you have, Sydney. That brings up a big question for today's update video. We've just learned about a new cast member for Scream 7 that will be playing Sydney's daughter. The question now is, will she be playing the new lead in Scream 7, or will that be reserved for the original final girl? Let's get into it. Hey everybody, I'm KillJoy Jake, and instead of having friends, I have horror movies. The torch may be passed again since we've just learned that Isabel May from the Yellowstone spin-off series 1883 and 1923 has joined the cast of Scream 7, specifically playing the role of Sydney's daughter. Immediately, you might have some questions about this, like, wasn't that character a baby in Scream 5, which only happened like 2 years ago? Personally, I think Sydney just has a big family, and that could be Isabel May's younger sibling. Or maybe she just ages like Jason Voorhees in between movies. I don't know. Other confirmed members of the cast currently include Neve Campbell and Courtney Cox. Roger L. Jackson soft confirmed his voice in a recent interview, and of course he's coming back to voice Ghostface. They're not going to do what Spiral did and try to change up an iconic horror voice.
Hello, Detective Boswick. I want to play a game.
Patrick Dempsey has also hinted at a return to the franchise recently after his Scream 3 character was revealed to be married to Sidney Prescott in that same stroller scene in Scream 2022. We know he has a couple of kids considering today's update. Jesus Christ, Mark, you couldn't pull out of a driveway. I have to note that this news was first reported by Daniel Richtman, who also says that Cashin Bilton from Foundation will play Sydney's daughter's boyfriend. He kind of looks like a more Hollywood version of Zach Morris. And listen, I hate to judge a book by its cover, but this guy looks like he enjoys killing people. I'm calling it now, it's the boyfriend again, or an excellent red herring. Dude better not own any blue flannels. He also starred in Foundation alongside Lee Pace, who you might remember from another murder mystery, Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. That's an intense little A24 film that has a better gut punch ending than most Scream sequels. Sorry, not sorry. No word yet on if the Meeks Martin twins are returning for Scream 7 either. Even though half of the core 4 will certainly be absent from this new entry, I could see Mason Gooding showing up considering he leads the new Spyglass slasher Heart Eyes coming out next February. It would be really cool to at least get a cameo from one of them to know that the power of the core 4 is still alive and well. Core 4! It's easy to look at these new cast members and say, who the f are these people? Like I did, but Scream is known for giving chances to up-and-comers. Before Melissa Barrera joined the cast of Scream 5, her biggest credits were TV shows and In the Heights, the other Lin-Manuel Miranda musical. Now she's a prominent star in the world of horror, leading movies like Bed Rest, Abigail, and Your Monster. Same goes for most of the core 4, except for Jenna Ortega, who was obviously a huge star before all of this, and an even bigger star since that Wednesday dance went viral. Why do I spend countless hours of my time reviewing horror movies here when I could just be dancing on TikTok? I ask myself this question every morning. It's real easy to rip on Scream 7 right now, considering some of the bonehead dumb decisions that the production company has made in the last year or so, but I have to admit, these are some pretty good picks. I'm already suspicious of the boyfriend, and Isabel here looks like a young Neve Campbell. These are some solid casting decisions so far, and I can't wait to learn who else has joined the next Ghostface massacre. That leaves us with one big question: will Isabel May lead Scream 7 or not? What I mean by that is, will they set up Scream 7 the same way they did Scream 5, where the focus is split between new and old characters? I know a lot of us feel like we're sick of seeing Sydney as the focus, whether it's because we liked shifting the spotlight in the previous 2 films, or that the series is just beating a dead horse at this point. Trust me, I'm with you there. I really think we need to just commit to what's already on the page though. With Sydney being confirmed to return earlier this year, I just think the most successful route for 7 would be to focus solely on her again. It could make Scream 7 feel like Scream 4 in the sense that it's still a Sydney story, but we focus on a whole new side of her family. Hopefully none of them become our Ghostface this time, because that's been done to death, but I just don't see the point in having Sydney there if she's just gonna give her daughter advice on dealing with a new killer. That is basically the same thing as Scream 5 all over again, and we just got that movie 2 years ago. This franchise is frustrating. Look, take the potential L on maybe copy and pasting a story from a previous Wes Craven Scream, and then try to focus on making your new Ghostface killer something really special, something really different from the previous 6 flicks. And actually this time, Scream 6. That is the very best route for this franchise at this point in time. If they make Isabel May the focus, which trust me, I want something fresh from this franchise so bad, you guys know that, I think it's just going to turn into Scream 5 again. If we're going to repeat stuff from the past, which seems inevitable at this point, you might as well go for the much stronger story elements of Scream 4. The more I watch these movies, the less I like the way the 5th film is set up. It doesn't spend enough time in the first half building building up its characters so it can reintroduce previous beloved cast members. Thankfully, the character development for the core 4 would be front and center in Scream 6, a far superior film in my opinion. Scream 6 might have done very little for the legacy characters, but thankfully it focused on the new survivors, building them up to be worthy components of this franchise. There's still a problem there though, however, because a lot of the older fans were questioning why the hell are Gale and Kirby even in this film? I guess they pushed the plot a bit and we do have that chase scene with Gale that's awesome, but the film would have been way more consistent in my opinion had they just let go of the past entirely. With that being said, however, Scream 7 has chosen the nostalgia lane and it has to stick to it to be successful. If the majority of Scream 6 chose to tell a new story in this universe, Scream 7 has decided to go back and focus on the franchise's original final girl again. Make it about Sydney and don't waver the focus, or else it's going to feel messy and confused. It's the same issue presented in Scream 6 where they decided to rest on their laurels in the third act and do a typical reveal, when the rest of the movie feels way too experimental for that kind of ending. Scream 7 needs to commit to telling a fresh story with its past lead and not split airtime with a daughter character. To put it more simply, we should do a Jill and Sydney relationship in Scream 7 between daughter and mother, except in Act 3 we don't see the former there taking off the mask. That could work for me, but we'll just have to see on February 27th of 2026. They still have a year and some change to figure this one out. Hey everybody, before we wrap up today's update video, please make sure to subscribe to my new gaming channel GullGotha, where I'm currently playing horror games. I also have a new video essay going up on KillJoy Jake Retro next week on Eli Roth's Thanksgiving. All will be carved. Go give that a watch when it drops. Thank you to everyone who has already checked out my other channels. Hugs and kisses, moi. What are your thoughts on this new casting decision, and are you excited for Scream 7? Leave me something about it in the comments below. Please subscribe, and as always, don't forget to kill it out there, y'all.